Hello, everyone. This is Felicia Bender, the Practical Numerologist, with your numerology forecast for the 3 personal year for August. So, if you are new to numerology, I ask you to please just take a moment, head over to FeliciaBender.com, click on monthly forecast. There is a calculator there that will calculate your personal year number for you. You can also look in the description box below. There is a very, very simple, very easy calculation there where you can calculate your personal year number, because this forecast is based on the personal year number, not on the life path number. So those are two entirely different things in numerology. We just want to make sure you're at the right place at the right time, listening to the correct forecast. Also, just a little sidebar. Those of you who've been watching and following me this year know that I've been traveling a bit, and today I am as well. And it's really, really hot. Those of you who live on the planet right now know that. And so I have a window open, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So just a little disclaimer: if there's any ambient noises coming in, you'll know that that you're not just going crazy and hearing something, that something's going on outside. So just want to let you know, it's raw and uncensored around here. Okay. So with that said, we're hopping right in. We're going to talk about your 3 personal year, and August. If you are in this 3, it is a number 11. It's a master number, 11/2. So an 11/2 personal month for you. So just as that reminder, you have your personal year, which is that container of all of the energy for the year. And then we have these points of destination, the energy supporting you and guiding you for the month. And for you, it's this master number. All right. So what does that mean for you? So this is the month to channel new ideas and to really, really trust your intuition. So right now we are closing in on a peak time for you in your 3 personal year. Next month, September, is a crescendo in your year where the energy of that creative, that communicative number 3 reaches kind of this full richness and intensity. So that is next month. So we're prepping for that. I think you can feel it ramping up. If you are tapped in and tuned in, which I think you probably are if you're listening to this, right? Who else is listening to a numerology forecast? You are. So you are tapped in, tuned into this energy. So I bet you're feeling it. I just want to acknowledge that, I guess, or validate it for you. And yet, in the meantime, what does August bring to you? Both patience and initiative are going to benefit you this month. They're going to benefit your creative projects and your relationships. The 11, whenever it shows up, is pretty edgy. It's kind of a push-pull. So understand that at the get-go. And we're kind of attempt to kind of flesh out how that might show up for you this month. So this year overall has potentially been full of new interests, new people, interesting people, right? With 3 places and emotional openings, creative juice that's just flowing and flowing, right? If you're a creator, this is your year, got to tell you. So many things that can be mixed up and created with your very individual way of creating things in a 3 personal year. So hopefully you've really been on board with that. And yet July right now, or July last month is what I'm trying to say, because I'm recording these in July. So July, it was a great launching pad for you to really begin to take off. It was a 1 month, new projects coming together, I hope, for you. Those seeds that were planted last month that you will need to nurture, to cultivate as you move through the rest of the year. An important task needs to be tied up and put to bed sooner rather than later, at the beginning of this month, at the beginning of August. And when that is successfully tucked away, you're going to need to kind of step back, reevaluate, breathe a bit, and just reconstitute, right? Just kind of resituate, reconstitute yourself. August is a bit of a hurry up and wait time. All right. I'm just going to hand it to you that way. Um, Yet don't waste any of this precious time on impatience, on frustration. Just understand that some things might hover. Why not take some time for a bit of a reset? Most of the world is on vacation right now. We're on holiday. Things are slower. People aren't in the office. Projects aren't moving. Deadlines aren't being met. That sort of thing. You can be really, really, furious about that, or you can go, "Hey, why don't we wait? Why don't we just wait? Why don't we take a step back? Why don't we go on holiday for a moment?" So just move with it rather than against it. Sounds kind of like well, that's a good thing to do all the time, but specifically right now, because you could be really in this forward momentum, trying to push things, and step back, kind of move with the flow. Don't get frustrated, and then you will see things really start coming together in a way that they wouldn't come together because the timing would be off if you were just pushing it right now. All right, that's all I'm trying to say. So it really is a time to reflect on what this year has brought to you so far. This can be a very beautifully reflective month. I would say that it's a time to ask yourself if you've been devoted to self-improvement in some manner. That's what 3 is all about: exploration, curiosity, all of that. Are you embracing your emotional life and communicating on a different level than you have before? This is the month to take stock, see how you actually feel on a variety of different levels. The 3 is asking you to refine and define your feelings and yet also feel your feelings. That has to be step 1. So before you can refine and define, you have to feel. So number 1, feel; number 2, refine; and number 3, define, or vice versa. I think you know what I mean, though. So you got to feel them first. Part of this reflective month could be used to refocus, to redevote yourself to some creative projects that maybe have just been kind of percolating inside of you, or maybe halfway developed. Maybe they're kind of molting there on your desk, calling your name subliminally, but you just haven't been able to, get the gumption behind it. This could be a really good month to draw those out, take a look at them again, see if they have any staying power, and make some determinations about this. It could be a writing project. It could be a new garden layout. It could be giving yourself time and space to take that intensive course that you've been delaying. Anything of this this kind of nature, or this kind of topic, can really come in, and you get the golden pass. You get the permission slip to do that this month. It will be very supportive with the energy of August for you. So the high octane projects that you engaged with in July, they're going to continue through August 9th or so, then slow down. They could be even held up a little bit briefly, hit a snag that has to be resolved, probably until at least August the 17th. So August really is a great time to tap into those creative juices yet once more, your constant theme for the year, and reach out, help others. The 2 is about the 2 is the number of helping, of support, of partnership. So August offers a bit more downtime for you to devote to the other people in your life that may have been, I don't know, put aside for the past several months while you're really focused on your projects. I find that one of the things that's interesting about the energy of the number 3 is that the 3 is very creative and communicative, outgoing on the surface, and yet it is the number of creation. And what do you need in order to create? You need your space. You need your alone time. You need time to do it, right? You can't usually create while you're out doing all that stuff. You have to have your studio or your space, or just uninterrupted time, that sort of thing. So the 3 in many ways can make you more introverted during part of the year. So so if that's been the case, maybe this is the time to kind of give that a moment of rest, and engage socially and with those that that are important in your life friends, family, that sort of thing. So understand that August also holds that master 11 for you. And what does that mean overall? The 11 really ups the ante in the realms of spiritual openings, spiritual lessons, spiritual illumination. It also really supports artistic creativity. So you get a double dose of this within your 3 personal year. And it's also a channel for inspired healing. So depending on where you are, what you're doing in your life, this could be a time for you to be healed, for you to be called upon to engage with healing others. And this could be on so many realms, right? And so just open yourself to that possibility, because this is an opportunity to really truly go deep on these, with these themes, with these mandates right now. It's time to look at anything having to do with partnerships and relationships. So how do you relate with others? That's an ongoing thread through your 3 personal year. How do you relate to yourself? How do you talk to yourself? What is your internal dialogue as well as your external dialogue? It really is a great month to see how love shows up for you and how you show up for love. I know it seems like kind of verbal or linguistic gymnastics right now, but it really isn't. It's really an interesting thing to look at both sides of that and to see how what your defaults are, and if you like those defaults, or if you would like to be have an awareness around them, and then learn how to shift those in a way that you find more positive and more satisfying for you. So it is the time to key into your humor, to your lightness, your creativity, even though it might feel a little heavy. I just got to admit it. August might feel the dog days of summer, right? And maybe a little emotional heaviness, and all of that can go with that. So just understand that again, the 3 is always asking you to feel it and move it, feel it and move it, feel it and move it. So just consider this a time to replenish your reserves mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. So also remember that this is really a great month for investing more of yourself into your intimate relationship or relationships with those you love. This doesn't have to be an intimate partnership like your husband or wife, or your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever that is. Although it could, of course. I'm just trying not to leave people out and go, well, what about me? I'm not in a relationship, but what does that mean for me? Well, it can mean your friends, your family, business associates. All of that is really relevant here. You have a lot to give to others this month, whether it's in a tangible realm or whether it's a touch, a gesture, or just being available to listen, right? No words, just listening, just holding space, just being a container for someone else's experience is really a beautiful expression of the energy of the 11, which is what you're immersed in August. So if you do have the opportunity or the desire, take the time for romance, particularly around August the 22nd or the 27th. So it's really imperative that you listen to yourself right now. I brought this up before, but I'm going to re-engage this idea. What words do you speak? What thoughts are you listening to in your mind over and over again? If you're like most of us, me included, boy, what is that loop? Right? What is the loop? And attempt to really resituate that loop and see how you can feel without those negative thoughts, repeating thoughts, however you want to call it. So that can really come into play for you this month. Words have tremendous power and tremendous impact, and it's particularly necessary to pay attention and listen to the words you use, both internally and externally. So the focus in your 3 personal year is on the sometimes difficult task of finding the lightness even when your world might tip into a dark or a heavy place. So the key is to focus on solutions rather than getting mired down in the problems. The gift of the 3 is to find different forms of creative problem solving, and to diffuse things with good humor, and with a light and loving touch. So the key is really to, again, focus on what's next rather than just grind about what's so devastating at this moment. I know it's kind of a silly thing to say, but I'm saying it anyway. So it's moving into the what's next. So what is next for you? What is the happiest surprise that you could imagine? Focus on that, feel it, engage it, feel it with all your senses, and let's see what unfolds for you. All right, that is your forecast for August. Please head to FeliciaBender.com. You can find plenty of free resources there, articles, life path information. You can get your numerology chart there. I'm looking forward to meeting with you next month to see what September has in store for you. And a little teeny spoiler alert. I know I referenced it before, and yet September really is a pivotal month, numerologically speaking. This is the way I see it anyway. It's a crescendo month in your year. So I look forward to digging into what that might mean for you in your creative and expressive 3 personal years. So let's meet back here next month and see what that brings to you for your overall year, and to see how we might navigate the final months of 2023.